Good evening, everyone. Welcome back again. Thank you guys so much for coming in tonight and having a view of our video again. We are Realdealfam. Thank you again so much, and we would hope you would subscribe and click the like button below. And tonight we got a topic that's kind of following up on our second video we did. It's called Long Distance Love.
What's your name?
I am Andre, and you are?
Essie.
Which is also Honey.
I'm also.
Yeah. Also referred to as the boss in the house. But aside from that, we're gonna get right into it. And like I said, what we want to talk about tonight is long distance love. As we went into before that, our second video, we met in college, and shortly after we met, we went to the same university. I got accepted to a graduate program at another institution. So at that time, we had to decide whether we was going to continue the relationship. So that's where it gets interesting once again. Is that right, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Well, what we want to touch on tonight, we want to go through probably like 5 points and then kind of dive into them each individually a little bit. And so the first point you want to do, if you get in a relationship like what we did, and for some unforeseen reason that turns into a long distance relationship, you're going to have to decide as a couple whether...
If you want that man, is he worth it?
That definitely is a question you got to answer. And for both parties, y'all have to decide whether it's something you want to embark on. And there's various reasons why people have long distance relationships. For us, it was due to school reasons. For other people, it might be family situation and what have you. But like we say, there's different things. Before you met me, honey, did you know anybody that ever went into a long distance relationship?
Yeah, my parents.
Okay.
They met and they had a long distance relationship for about 5 years before they got married.
And it's been an absolute successful marriage. So it's proof that it does work. It's not easy. It's not
work.
It's not comfortable.
And you gotta trust your mate, otherwise it's not even worth it. Don't go there.
Yeah, all you're gonna do is stress yourself out. That's all.
Stress.
and so, definitely, because like I say, the number 2 thing you're gonna have is an open line of communication. You gotta have to be able to communicate back and forth. And like she said in the second video, she went as soon as I decided to go back then. Cell phones wasn't as prominent as they are now.
He's old.
But she went and got her cell phone so she could keep in contact with me, and that worked out. That ended up working out terrific.
Jealous.
Yeah, we ain't gonna go there. But it did. You gotta have some kind of line of communication, and once you establish that line of communication, y'all talking constantly. Keeping the relationship interesting. Then you want to I think the third point is you want to be able to map out visits and so forth. Whether she comes to visit you or you go to visit her, but y'all will at some point want to come together and visit. Honey, can you tell a little bit about about our first visit when you came?
It had been a long time, about 6 months, I think, since we had seen each other. So it was long overdue. And I think we had got those $99 tickets from Spirit. And also American Airlines. Shout out to American Airlines. They had the weekend getaways for $99 back then. But I was able to go down and stay with your family in Orlando and then fly out to see you.
And man, was I
Puerto Rico.
I was
Puerto Rico.
very excited to see her when she came in. I mean, it was awesome. And so definitely, if you're communicating and you're doing your visits, all that really helps. It helps strengthen the relationship. And definitely, I would say what helps all of that is the number 4 thing that I think is very important, and that's having respect not only for yourself but for your mate. And that goes into what she was saying before. If you don't have trust, I don't think it's something you want to embark on as a couple. because it's just going to create a lot of anxiety, a lot of frustration. And
You gotta know. You gotta learn the person though. How are you gonna know if you have trust if you haven't gone through some things?
well, even if you haven't had the experience in with one another, you're gonna have. That's why it comes in respect for yourself. If you at least have respect for yourself, you have something to work with, and like the mate you chose as well. I don't think you'll be interested in somebody that
what you're willing to accept, what you're not.
right, and and has poor character, and you would take them to meet quite a bit of your family. I don't think you would go to that extent.
You were taking girls to meet your people?
Yeah, that was just
Randos.
that was one cookout. They ain't make it to see everybody. They might have went to one cookout and that was it. But anyway, those are the first 4 topics we think is really important in deciding and maintaining a long distance relationship. And the fifth, I would say, is the most important, is that you have an end game. You can't have a continual long distance relationship. At some point, it has to end, and y'all have to be working towards something. And so ours was pretty long, pretty drawn out. The program was long. It was very intensive. We spent a lot of hours on the phone, a lot of travel back and forth. But
how long did you spend over there?
I think I was there 5 years.
3 years. Yeah. No, 2 years, 2.5 years by yourself, and then I came to move out there and live out there for about almost 2 years with him. It was a great experience. And then I left early, came back and got situated, and then he graduated maybe a year later.
Right. So, but we always kept in mind the end game. Now, during the time that the long distance relationship
kept in mind the end game.
Yeah, you have to. That's the only thing. You got to be able to see the light at the end of the tunnel.
He had to get whipped in shape.
That's true, but
and threatened to get left.
I did
because I had to put my foot down. This is a wrap here.
Lord.
What girl can keep wasting her time with a dude that don't want to get married after that much time?
You can't. So at some point, you got
end game.
Both people have to make a decision.
End game in your mind.
Yeah, you do. It's very important. It's very important for the women and the men. You definitely don't want to sell yourself short. If you feel like you're being strung along and things are not progressing, especially if you done made a commitment on a long distance relationship, at some point somebody's gonna have to make a decision on where to take it. Right, to take it to the next level. Yeah. I'm very glad. I'm very blessed. That I finally came to the realization that I was blessed. And we end up, like I said, the end game finally came. I graduated, came back home. We started our life together.
You scared?
What
was you scared of?
I mean, most men have different anxieties about certain things in terms of being married. You have to see.
We had been together for like, what? Before we got married, we've been together nearly 8 years, about 7.5 years or so. A month shy of 8 before we actually got married.
Right, because there's a portion of undergraduate school and graduate school in there. Mm-hmm. And
so but he would always say, "Oh, you're my wife." I'm like, "I ain't your wife." What Beyonce say? Put a ring on it.
Well, it happens. Everybody have to be patient. Everybody have to grow in their own time. And if it's meant to be, the couple will succeed. Black love will prevail. But you definitely have to be open, and you have to persevere through all the tough times.
So no, you didn't answer the question. What was you scared of?
Like I say, when you're a young man, whether you're African American, I can only speak for African American men. Sometimes you don't see a lot of positive relationships in your life that go long term, so you tend to be a little bit suspect of making a commitment like that, just because you haven't seen anything that was successful in the past. I've seen a lot of divorce. I've seen couples that were married and stayed together that were only married by title, but not by love, not by commitment and respect.
think that's most people, a lot of people, but I didn't see very many good successful.
Well, everybody that comes to that realization.
But I knew I didn't want to waste my time anymore.
Right, but everybody comes to that realization at different times. And when it came to me, I was ready, and we got together. And if you're not ready and you hadn't come to that realization,
Bye-bye.
But some
You're
people
gonna have to miss me.
Some people tend to stick around, and then that only creates problems in a relationship. If you feel like it's not working, and you know what you want for yourself, and the other individual is
If he
not,
really loves you and wants you, he'll come get you. But until then, you get to say, peace, be with you.
And I agree with that 100%. So, like I say, if you hang in there and you believe in your trust in yourself and your mate, and you
Lord.
always keep respect in the forefront, you'll be just fine. Mm-hmm. And so we thank y'all so much for tuning in this evening and spending some time with us, with Andre and the boss.
Boss, baby.
And she put me out there tonight. But thank y'all so much again. Please subscribe and hit the notification bell and hit the thumbs up, because we will be putting out more videos in the future. And we thank you guys again. Good night.